Hi, y'all, and welcome to Monday Night's All Meta Mode podcast with myself, Amanda Digger Degaz, and Gypsy with Zero Discrimination on YouTube. Hey, Gypsy, how goes it?
Hey, feeling much better than last week.
Oh, yes,
How about
much.
you?
Yes, I am. I'm not 100% yet, but I am well on my way. So, yes, but much better.
Awesome. Well, we've got to be 100% better by the time Friday comes. So for our
Yes.
upcoming adventures. So just to let all of you know, we both ended up. I know I had a COVID test earlier this last week or weekend, whenever that was. When did I
Yes.
have my COVID test? I went
Last week?
ahead and had a COVID test because I was having a lot of the symptoms and getting ready to travel, and I needed to know, is this some cold flu or whatever this is, or is it COVID? So I had the test. It was negative, so all good there. And then Amanda got her results back today, and it was negative. Woohoo! So
Yes.
anyway, so we are on the mend from whatever we had. She's up there in Maine, and I'm down here in Texas. And I don't know, it sounds like we had pretty much the same thing. So
Yeah. And everyone
just
around
glad we're,
us. Yeah.
yeah, I so many people, whatever this is, getting this time of year. And sometimes I think it's a season changing and cooler weather on the way, and it seems to mess with our bodies. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I'm just glad we're doing better. And anyway, so since you've been better, were you able to get out?
I have been preparing for what is it? Are we gonna have, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days of adventures with you. So preparing, getting basically we're going to be heading in two totally different directions. So getting basically, like, getting the first leg of the adventure, that stuff packed away. Obviously, you're packing everything to come here. It's just easier for me to pack separate. So I've been doing that and getting a room ready. And then I did end up getting out a little bit on yesterday. Like I got out this
Yeah.
weekend. I went
So did you
to
metal detect or metal art?
No, I didn't get to go metal detecting. I wish I hoping this week, a couple, I'm
Hmm.
hoping a couple days after work I'll get to go out and swing for a little while. Um, I It's kind of like mudlarking, but that's one of the spots that I have that I do that swishing. So I use like the
Oh.
mason's tool and I kind of like scrape along the bottom and then use my hand to move the water and swish stuff away. And I didn't
Hmm.
even tell you, I found not a lead soldier, but I did find a lead figure. It's missing its head and missing its feet, but it looks like it's wearing like a long jacket. So that was really exciting. That was something that's been on my bucket list. And honestly, I'm still hoping to find a lead soldier with you when we go do our trip. But
Yeah.
and then I found it's either I haven't tested it yet or checked it really. It's soaking with the rest of the stuff, but it's either a bone dye or ivory, and it's a carved dice or a carved die. And those are like
Ooh.
my favorite things to find. So it's a little teeny one. So that was really exciting.
That is
Um,
so cool.
yeah, and then a whole bunch of beads. But
Gotta
I know
be.
you've gotten out. How was you went to a hunt this weekend, right?
Yeah, I did. I got back from Michigan and then turned around and went straight to Oklahoma. And it was a seated hunt that I'd gotten invited to. And I didn't participate in the seated hunt while I was there. I was mainly there, to kind of meet and greet some people, and I ended up getting invited up there by a couple that I'd met at the Red Dirt Treasure shootout.
Yep.
And they had only been metal detecting for about a year, and I got to see all their finds, that they have found just within a year. It's hard to believe that they've only been metal detecting a year, and they're just a really cute couple. It was funny. He got into metal detecting, and she said, "I'd rather watch grass grow than get out there and do what you're doing." And sure enough, he finally convinced her to try it one time. And she went out and found a ring, I think, that was a silver coin. And then her second time out, a ring. And she's been hooked since. So it was fun to see them too. And they're really getting into the history in Oklahoma. And so he is really good at getting permissions. In fact, just a little quick story. It was really funny. So we had been out detecting that day, and we stopped in at one of their favorite restaurants and to grab a bite to eat. And they know the owner there. There is really, really awesome guy. Just fell in love with this guy right away. He was just as cute as can be, and he just was like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you." They introduced me, and or he said, they were like, "Oh, you brought a guest," and they introduced me, and I ended up giving him one of my business cards. But long story short, his nickname is Muggsy, and he owns a bunch of land there, and we got to talking to him, and we ended up getting permission to go detect some property that he had been trying to get close to, where close to 5,000 Union soldiers had chased over 5,000 Confederate soldiers through this area. And anyway, we got to go for a little while the morning before I drove back and detect some of this property. We didn't really get on the spot, apparently, where we were supposed to be, but I did get down in a creek and detected, and I found, how you always find those harmonica reeds.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But I found the outer part of a harmonica, and that was really cool. It has this design on it, and it even has some dates on it from the 1800s, so it was a really cool find.
That's awesome.
Other than that, so that was something new for me. And the first day I got there, before it got dark, we went to one of their close to their home permissions, where some old trailer houses. It was an old trailer house park used to be, and we detected out there. But before that, it was actually just farm field. So me and Donna both ended up getting some brass metal cow tags. So that was my first brass one. I've never found a cow tag. So that was neat. Mine was number 17, and I think hers was number 40. So that was cool for me. So I didn't find much, a spoon, an old spoon, and much else the rest of the weekend. But it was just great getting to meet a bunch of people, sign some autographs, sign some hats, and some T-shirts and a gold pen and stuff like that. And anyway, something to look. The guy there makes coin rings from this club that had invited me up, and he's going to give away one, and he's going to custom do the size of whoever the winner is. And so I'll be doing a giveaway soon for one of those coin rings, silver quarter coin ring. on my YouTube channel very soon. So y'all be sure and be looking for that
That's cool.
giveaway very soon. So that was pretty much it. It was fun. Good to be back, and started packing today for our trip, and trying to figure out, all those things I need to bring because the weather is so different up there. And I know for a lot of you, we all live in different areas and different weather. This year has been a kind of a mild summer for us. Usually it's way up in the, hundreds, 107 sometimes, as high as 107 with the heat index and stuff like that. This year was fairly mild summer for us, and we got a lot more rain than usual. I'm used to the warm climate, though. I was a Texas girl, born and raised in Texas, so I've lived all over Texas, so I'm used to the heat, and it seems that's probably part of the reason why I got sick when I went up to Michigan, that cooler air and the change of the season. And so I'm trying to pack for going and visiting you and our adventures, and so trying to figure out what to bring and not overpack but not underpack either. So
And the thing is, it's that time of the year that in the morning you're going to wake up and you want to dress for winter. And then by midday,
right.
It's going to feel like spring. Then by like 2 o'clock, it's going to feel like summer. So we're at that time of the year that layers are really the key is, layers. It looks like the weather for Chazzy or Cheesy or we'll just say Plattsburgh is it looks nice. But again, I don't know and I'm not up there. Hopefully, I think there might be a couple people in chat, but when it says it's going to be 65 there now, is that 65 in the sun and when you're surrounded by buildings, or is that 65 what it could be with 80-mile-per-hour gusts across the fields when it feels like 40? um, yeah, so I've got thermals, but the layers, you have the moisture wicking stuff. It also tends to, be pretty warm. I know that Walmart usually carries some good stuff that I've gotten over the time. I did today. I ended up, pulling out the winter hats and the gaiters and all the fleece pants and the warm stuff just in case. Obviously when you're here and on basically you'll be here and we'll be treasure hunting for almost an entire week before we head up to upstate New York, and that weather looks gorgeous, like 75. And in the evenings,
Wonderful.
possibly 40. um And sadly, I know that we've discussed this in the past, but it's like dark. It's dusk here now at like 6:30, 7.
Yeah, shucks.
So it definitely.
When does the time change?
I want to say November. I think the first weekend in November is fall back.
Okay. We still got a little time, but yeah, I miss the long summer days, that's for sure.
They slip by pretty fast. Yep, November 7th is fall back. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That'll give us a little longer daylight.
Yeah. Yep. And
can
true.
Always bring a headlamp too. I guess I need to pack one.
Yeah, and Mark did say there, and I remember there's a Walmart or Wally World in Plattsburgh, and I know we're all staying in Plattsburgh, so, but at the same time too, like you'll be here and we have a day in between that actually I have a few, I've reached out to a few potential, there's a site that is owned by a uncle of a friend. And
Hmm.
I've gone by it and I've gone by it, and it's, oh my gosh, the biggest property, but the house is like early 1800s, and on it there's another, like an old foundation that I'm pretty sure is 1700s, and nobody lives there.
Oh.
And so
Oh.
I reached out and I'm like, "Hey, so uh I have a friend and I would really love to give her I mean, don't get me wrong. We have a couple news sites right now that are like we detected for like a day on. So they really
Yeah.
haven't been detected much, but this place I drool going by it. So more or less getting a couple
Oh.
places lined up and for you to detect Maine, so that way we can
Uh,
add that to your list of detecting spots. And I mean, treasure hunting
oh,
in New York City is going to be a lot of fun. So
definitely. I'm so
yeah,
excited. I cannot wait. We've been planning this forever, and COVID and everything else has just gotten in the way. So it feels like it's finally going to happen.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's exciting. And I don't know. I know that we have, thank you to all our usuals that are in chat right now. And I know that there's probably quite a few people listening as well, or may listen, coming up in the next week. Heck, they might listen to it next week too, which would be awesome. But for the first 200 treasure hunters that come up and say hello to me at, um, Digstock, I have a kind of a giveaway thing. If you were there 2 years ago, you reached into a bag and you pulled out like a little mystery bag, and it would have, Wheaties and Indian heads or silver standing liberties and things like that. Well, I kind of went bigger and better because I had 2 years, 2 years worth of. Hey, it would have even been greater if it had been held off another year. So, but I have some pretty amazing things in there. I can say there's some Spanish silver and some pretty awesome Civil War tokens, and yeah, you name it. So definitely come over and say hey and introduce yourself and um, pick from the treasure bag. So, but only for the first
that's
200.
awesome.
After 200, sorry.
I can't
um,
believe you got 200
yep,
uh,
got
items
it.
together. That is just an amazing feat,
Yep.
And I know there's going to be about 600 people there.
Yes.
And
Sorry to the other
so
400.
first come,
um,
first serve. It's fair.
well,
It's
I mean,
very
I
fair.
I did it that first year and ended up going home with like quite a few, um, still quite a few. I think there was like over 100 left over from, there was a ton that first night at the meet and greet, but then it got shut down. And, I still carried it with me while I was detecting, but, maybe I wasn't easy to find in the fields because I would more or less had my head in
Right.
a hole. um, but yeah, so I will definitely let people know like where I'm at and how to find me. And yeah, so but now that they moved it to the meet and greet to noon and at the actual hunt site, I'm sure we're gonna get you over there at noon, right? Or before or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but we'll try to make sure everybody knows like when we're gonna be, where we're gonna be, and I don't know. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I'll be
find ways of
doing.
people to find me.
There you go. You can stand close to the Garrett booth. I'm sure they won't care. So, yeah, I'll be at the Garrett booth doing autographs, and I'll have some stickers for giveaways there. And for the first few that are able to make it, I may even have a hat for you. Um, so be sure and swing by there. And do that for the meet and greet. And yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. That's got some packing done today, and I finally found my. I told you earlier today that I was looking for my knee pads.
Oh yeah, yep.
So I've got several knee pads, but one of them was I've got like 4 backpacks. I'm really bad about backpacks. I got backpacks that I use for metal detecting and dump digging and just wherever. So some of them have dump digging tools in them and other things. But I ended up washing my backpack today. I'd used it for dump digging last time, so I washed it, got it all ready. I'm probably actually going to carry it on the plane and put my purse and other stuff that I'll need, my vaccinations, all that kind of stuff in there. And that way when we're out in those fields, like I don't know how many of you carry a backpack when you're going to be hiking for quite a ways. It's always very handy. You can put extra waters in there. You can put your first aid kit. You can put an extra shovel, digging tools, whatever you might need. And if you're carrying an extra coil, maybe you get out in the field and you hit an iron patch and you want to switch the coils or something like that. Backpacks are just so handy for stuff like that. And Amanda and I found out they're heavy. They're very, I'll let you tell that. I've said it before on here, I know, but it's kind of like our pet peeves. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm a sucker. I should have just walked by it. It's just too hard. When you see the hole, somebody else's hole, and you've got like the horseshoe sitting next to the hole, and you walk by, and then there's the can slaw, and I don't know. I just can't do it. I can't walk by it without like turning around and going back and picking up whoever's trash was left. And it was just easier. I carry some of those, the plastic. Actually, you can't get them at any store in Maine now, but the plastic bags that you used to be able to get at the store. And I'd fill them up, and then finally when we'd find a bucket. But I think they said that they were going to be like a lot more buckets around the fields to drop the trash off. So
awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. Because that
would be great.
I tried to put blinders on and just walk by it, and I can't.
I can't do it either. Yeah, and there was, excuse me, some massive pieces of iron last time. And I'm sorry, but those farmers have let us come on their land, and they're plowing those fields, and you've dug up something, and you've left it there in the field, and it can damage their plows, it can damage their equipment. It's just not right. Pick up your trash. Take it out.
Yeah, so I ended up, the backpack was the best. I just would stop, throw it in the backpack, keep going. At that point, though, like I was seriously metal detecting, though, every single day. Like I'd go at lunchtime, I'd go right when I got out of work. This year, I have not been able to do that, and it makes me a little sad. Hopefully next year I'll be able to get back to metal detecting like that. But yeah, so I used to carry the bag, and that's what I would do in my fields because that's what we would do for the farmer. They allow us on their fields, and some of them are really cool though. They'd say, "Hey, if you get, big iron, I'd bring some pink survey tape with me, and I would drag it to the side of like the field and then mark it with the survey tape so they'd see it, and they would end up getting it. So that way I wouldn't have to. Yes. Yep.
That's much easier.
But
definitely.
I don't, it will be hard this year to do that because I know that I'm not as muscular as I was at that point from doing it over and over and over.
Right.
And I
So
swear, if I see you
yeah,
digging a hole and leaving the stuff next to it, I will say, "Hey, come get your trash. I'm not doing it this year, man. I'm not doing it. Come get it."
pick up your trash.
Hey, you dug
So
that
yeah,
signal. I don't care. So, yeah.
it's true. So yeah, but we are bringing our backpacks, and
Yep. Yep.
we'll have it out there for
Well, I'll have,
all those reasons.
yeah, that, and I'll also have the treasure bag. So that way, if people do see me and stop me, um, you know, just just go up to people, be like, "Hey," especially, at times I do. I take a break. I think that 2 years ago you laid down in the field and like took a quick break. I mean, it's a
Oh
beautiful
gosh.
view, like it's awesome. So yeah, yeah, it will be fun. But you were gonna ask, and I know we have quite a few people in chat. You were gonna ask something about the.
Oh yeah, the knee pads. So unfortunately, I don't have my laptop, so we'll
Yep, I can let
trying
you
to get
know.
a guide from Amanda. But um, how many of you wear knee pads when you're out metal detecting? Um, and how many of you wear them, like when you're dump digging, etc.? Just curious. So I don't know about you, Amanda, but some of the places I detect, there's rocks here where I live. It's the rocky territory. So inevitably, you'll put your knee down on some rocks, some stickers, a cactus, thorns, you name it. So I just about have to wear knee pads when I'm detecting in this area. Um, what else?
I
Dump
absolutely,
digging.
yep, I absolutely use them for dump digging. I also I have the ones that have like the hard, like gel plastic thing, and then they're like gel,
Uh,
so they're really comfy. But they also have, so they're very thick. So the possibility of if I did kneel down on a shard of glass, it would puncture the knee pad and not my knee. But I wear them for metal detecting as well. Yeah, I do both. I don't care. It saves my knees, especially if you're going day after day. And
right. You really need to protect your knees, and you're going down on your knees. You're digging. I mean, I don't know how many times I've dug a plug, and you get down, and yeah, you're not down on your knees at that point. But once you finally get down there, and maybe it's in the sidewall or there's other things, you still got to kneel down to pick it up. So the knee pads are just a must for me, and especially in some of those areas I detect. Occasionally, I'll forget my knee pads or I won't wear them. I'm like, I don't think I'll need them today. I'm just doing this. But then inevitably I'll be like, why didn't I bring my knee pads?
yeah,
So it just happens. And especially in the dumps, you don't want, like you said, a piece of glass shard going, on your knees or, you know, that something else that reminds me of. And I ordered a extra for Amanda too. When we're digging in the dump over there, there's not as much glass in that dump, but I have actually cut my arm on glass while digging, in dumps before. And I found they make an arm cut-proof sleeve now, just like they make the cut-proof gloves. And so I ordered us some. So I'm anxious to use those in the dump, but especially too in the dumps I dig around here where there's so much glass and everything else. I mean, and good thing around here, there's mosquitoes and ticks and, all that other stuff. So it helps protect you from that, helps protect you from the sun, all of those things. So and can keep your arms warm. So
Mm.
there's a lot of advantages to that as well. So anyway,
Actually,
uh,
actually, the dump that I brought you to and that we're going to is the only place I have been like impaled myself on a shard.
are you serious?
Yep, yep. It was
Oh
like,
wow.
and the worst part was like I was wearing the knee pads and it was like 1 inch below where the knee pad, like it was right into my shin. I like, yeah, drove my leg right
Oh.
into. Oh, it hurts so freaking bad. That one took a while to heal because yeah, that was
Man.
not good. Yep. So the only time I've actually, out of all the dumps I've dug, and I'm gonna knock on some wood right now. But yeah, the only one so far, and hopefully the only one I will ever happen to, is the one that, yeah, the button dump. The one with like the least amount of glass that I've ever been in. Yeah, is the one
That, that's funny. Well,
the
not even the glass shards, but there's sometimes metal, sharp metal
yeah,
too
that,
in these dumps,
yep,
and so
absolutely.
that can really be bad. So,
Yep. And I
um,
mean, even mudlarking, like there's been areas that I've gotten down, it's an area that's kind of like more of a sandy soil, like almost like beach. And I've gotten down with the knee pads to like pick up those little seed beads. So if I've spotted a
uh-huh.
couple, like yes, I will, instead of bending over and picking up, 20 little beads, yes, I'll use my knee pads. And I know some people use like the gardening foam boards and stuff, but that's just a pain in the
Yeah, I
butt.
have
You have
one
to,
of those. I have one of those too, but it's just too hard to keep up with. But those are really so good for protecting your booty.
yeah,
So if you were sitting on, because I've sit in some dumps where you're sitting on glass,
yep.
and I mean it's just shards, just sheer shards of glass. So um, you protect your booty there, and then you got your knee pads, and then boy, now I'm gonna have my arm guards, so I'm gonna be well protected.
Just
But
remember though, those are cut proof. They're not stab proof.
yeah, you reminded me of that today, and it's funny because I was digging in a dump with Zola. This has been a month or so ago, and I had gloves on. I didn't have the cut-proof gloves, but um, I was reaching in and trying to dig something out, and sure enough, through my glove, a shard of glass went through the glove and punctured my finger. So luckily, I had Band-Aid and stuff, and I was right there by the river. I ended up, but yeah, you just never know. And it would be terrible if it was, a worse injury than that. When you're out digging and you're not close to, if you were to really hurt yourself really bad, um, it's always good to carry that little first aid kit. And I meant to ask you, should I bring a first aid kit? I've got a small one I can stick in my backpack,
Ah,
or
heck no.
should
Yeah, I've got that.
you've got that?
Yep. And
Okay.
now, like with Germex and stuff like that, with the percentage of alcohol in it, and then
Uh huh.
like I always have,
Right.
and I'm not wearing clothes that I absolutely love. So I always have a pocket knife. So push come to shove, I can always cut part of my shirt. You've got Germex, and then I always carry electric tape around because that's just way better than a
Now
Band-Aid.
that is smart. That's
Yep.
so smart. Love it. Yeah. So be prepared, folks, when you're out there digging. You just never know what might happen. Anybody comment on the knee pads?
Everyone wears them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to hear. Um, sometimes I feel like, man, I'm getting old. I gotta have these knee pads.
No, there was no one that said that they didn't in chat. Everyone said that they do.
Okay, that's
So,
cool.
yeah.
So
No, especially when the
anyway,
ground's cold, like I don't know, from digging up
oh
in New
yeah,
England, when the ground is cold, the ground is snowy, like the knee pad, like first of all, it can help keep your knees dry. It helps keep your knees from being cold. You can help keep your knee from kneeling in like, dog crap or on something sharp or yeah. Yep.
That's so true. Yep,
I
so
mean, there's
true.
there's a lot more positives than there are negatives. I don't care. So what? Like I look like you know, RoboCop or
I usually
something
look
with all
like a
the
Oompa Loompa, by the time I've got all my layers on. And anyway, oh well, who
I mean, a
cares?
lot of the newer like outdoors pants and stuff too, they have like the actual built-in section to actually have them like
Yeah,
in built like to slide into the pant and stuff. Like that's awesome. It's awesome. Now,
yes.
if they would talk to some of us women, I mean, I've gotten the male, the male's pants
I've
before,
had
but
to buy the men's, yeah, too, because they didn't have them in the women's, and it's like, come on now, there's just as many women out there that do outdoors things that could use this stuff. So
I just think it's
anyway,
funny that from the crotch region to like the upper button, so it will end up taking up my almost like my entire torso, like I'm wearing overalls. I'm like, well,
right?
these are ridiculous. I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm actually bringing a pair of thermal, like they've got the fleece line
Yep.
inside pants that I ended up getting in the men's section. I think I bought them actually at Walmart when I was at a Garrett thing, and I just needed a pair for the next day because it turned out to be real cold, and so
Mm.
ran in, and they're a little long and they don't fit quite right, but hey, you know.
Well, I'm also going to be bringing my diamond tester, if that tells anybody what I have thoughts in mind. So that will be with me on the entire journey. Um,
Ooh.
I keep having dreams, so yeah, I'm gonna bring it with me. That way I don't have to be like, oh, it's gonna be like a week and a half before I can test that thing. So thought about actually
Well,
bringing
that's good.
the gold testing kit and stuff, but that's a pain in the butt, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Diamond tester's much easier.
Yeah, yeah. If it's
I've been missing my diamond tester forever, and I finally found it. It was shoved in the garage somewhere in a bag. I found it a few days ago or a few weeks ago.
it's awesome.
Anyway, felt like I had something brand new. It'd been lost for a while.
It's always a good thing. That's why I think someone mentioned in chat it sounded like I was clinking something. Well, so one of the room that I cleaned out so that way Gypsy, has his place to stay here is my little workshop area, and I found all these little things that I hadn't seen. So I'm like, yeah, so that was me moving little things around that I had found. But yeah, it is. It's like whether it's something you bought or you found, whether treasure hunting or metal detecting, and you haven't seen it for a while, and then all of a sudden you find it again, it's a new treasure.
It's a new treasure. It's Christmas again.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, but yeah, so one of the things too is we did not get any shows pre-recorded for Monday, let me do this. Monday, October 4th or Monday, October 11th. If I can figure it out, I might have a pre-recorded show be able to play. But something that Gypsy and I were discussing, and maybe you guys might like this, maybe not. I don't think we're we're gonna do it at 8 o'clock at night, but who knows? We might, depending on what we're doing and if we're out and about. But we were talking about actually signing on and doing some Facebook Lives at the dump, and
Some
while
of
we're
our
out
locations.
yeah, yep, while we're out treasure hunting. So I don't know if we know how to do it on the all metal mode page. So it would either be Gypsy or I um, going live on our own Facebook page and sharing it for a bit. But who knows, we might end up doing it later on at night and going over some of the stuff that we found. Um, But
Yeah,
yes. So I wasn't
do
sure if some
that.
of you would be down for that. And, either way, even if you're not down with it, we'll probably still do it. So,
We're gonna, we'll try. Hopefully, we'll have a good
yeah.
reception
Yes,
there, or at
that's,
least Wi-Fi once we get back to the room and stuff. So maybe we can at least do a recap on some of our finds and stuff.
yeah, because technically we'll be digging what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 states? Yeah, I think we'll
Yeah.
be, yep, treasure hunting in 5 different states. So it would be
Woohoo!
cool. Yeah, yep. So I do apologize to you all that that we didn't get a pre-recorded show with Gypsy and I being sick the last 2 weeks. It's been really difficult, along with the travel, happens, life happens. So, um, yeah. So we figured instead we'd try our hand at Facebook Live, maybe periodically through the day and maybe at night and do a roundup. But obviously, with that too, we'd let you all know, we'd post it and whatnot. So, yeah. So if you're not friends on Facebook with Gypsy or myself, definitely, come over, send us a friend request, and let us know, you listen to the podcast and you're hoping to watch a Facebook Live or I don't know, see some of the cool stuff that we're up to. But
Yeah, we would love to have you join us. So we're so excited about our adventures, and I we've been looking forward to this for just so long, and I'm really excited about Dig Stock, getting to see some people that we hadn't seen in years and meet new friends, and it's just going to be so exciting. And for me, I know that Amanda gets to dig at those old places and find colonial stuff a lot. For me, it's just like the highlight of my year. So to get to dig something older than 1880s, something like that. So
yes. Well, I can't wait because I know last time you came up, we didn't get to detect Maine at all. So I'm pretty excited to have you come up and try your hand at. It's definitely going to be different than digging in Shazy, though. We both know that, though. The ground in Maine is definitely softer than the ground in
is it?
Shazy. Oh yes.
Oh, oh, oh my gosh! Speaking of the different ground soils and
Oh
places
yeah.
to dig. So when I was in Oklahoma, oh my gosh, the ground where we were, they had no rain hardly all summer, and it was so compact. It was like digging in cement. That is no exaggeration. There were so many targets that we got that a lot of us, we just finally gave up on. It was just, we tried and tried and tried. We'd get down maybe 4 inches, and that would be about it. It was ridiculous. So I am so looking forward to some easy digging. Where I live, it's rocky. So I'm used to digging in rough conditions, but that was rough. I can't tell you how much, especially after being sick and then getting back out there digging, I can't tell you how much I sweat and how I'm trying to dig these targets. Oh my gosh. And it was insane. So I'm looking forward to some of that soil up there. So in those fields, so much easier to dig in.
Yeah.
Yeah. uh, and I've also decided to bring my Predator digger just because I can fit it in my suitcase. The new Garrett digger I have now, and I absolutely love it. I used it some this weekend too, but the handle's too long to fit my suitcase. It's really nice long handle, so that's great for especially taller people as well. I'm short, but it's perfect length for digging, so you don't have as much bending. It's super sturdy. The new Garrett razor, I think they used like the White's prototype to it and did a little changes. But anyway, if anybody wants one of those, we do have them available now at the Digger's Den. Just shoot me a message if you're interested in the new razor digger. I love the way it kind of angles at an angle. So it's once you've dug your plug, you can just pop it out, unless you're digging in Oklahoma in soil that is hard as cement. I used it several times now, and it can dig some amazing plugs. And I just love the way it just with ease, you barely push it up, and it just, because of that angle, it just pops it all right. Pops your plug right out, easy to use. So I'm loving that digger. But if any of you are interested, need a new digger, I highly recommend that razor, the new Garrett razor digger. Just let me know, and we can hook you up at the Digger's Den. I don't know if we have them on the website yet, so if you do go to the website, you can message me or Brian. Just let them know that you heard about it from Gypsy, and hopefully get you that discount too with my discount promo code. So anyway, anything else you can think of that we need to cover tonight?
Not much. No, I don't think so. Again, yeah, so there won't be any new live shows for the next 2 Mondays. We'll try to do Facebook Live, and then if before I go, I can figure out, because I do not want to bring my laptop with me. I don't want to run the systems. I just don't want to do it. So we're not going to do it.
No.
And but before I go, if I could figure out how to download, a prior show, I might end up uploading those to play on those 2 nights. And then, yeah, we'll just let everyone know to, where we are and what we're doing, whether it's via Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or Twitter. We'll let you know where we are so you can come and meet us. And yeah, I think that's, it looks like Wayne said to bring your Peak AU.
Yeah, if I can fit that in the suitcase, I'm definitely going to try. I packed one suitcase today, and it is full, so now I got to figure out how to get all the rest of my shovel and all of that in there. So
oh no,
we shall see.
It'll
shovel, my 2
repacking.
detectors. Yeah, so we'll see how much I can fit to take. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't gotten to the river much this year. Wayne had given me a PKU, and if those of you that don't know what that is, it is like a scope. It's a tube with a kind of a glass on the end where you can peek into the water, like in the river, and you can look for maybe the areas where there might be gold. It's really used a lot for gold prospectors, but like where I live in the river, I metal detect in. It's great for looking in those spots where you may not be able to even get to detect, but you could take it and peek down there and to some of those deeper areas and those different areas and look through that scope. It's got 2 handles on the side, and you could peek down in there and see stuff on the bottom. In the water. So they are very handy. You can also contact Wayne if you're interested in one of these. There's so many uses you could use this. I was thinking it would be great for that creek by the button dump. My issue right now would be how shallow that creek is right now because I'm not bringing waders, and how cold that water is this time of year.
Yeah, true.
Getting in, but I can imagine looking with that Pikachu in the water there and seeing some buttons and stuff that's washed down. I'm sure there's a gajillion of them. So if I can manage to fit in the suitcase, I will. And if I can manage to get in the water while we're there, we will definitely try. So
Nice.
but y'all be sure and contact Wayne if you're interested in one of those. And they are really handy, very handy.
I have the bucket with the clear glass on the bottom
Awesome.
to do that.
Have you used it yet?
I have, and then I haven't, but I haven't brought it to that place yet. So
Okay. Cool.
I'm not sure.
Awesome. Well, anything else we need to mention?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I can't wait to meet you all, or those that do get to, head to Dig Sock. It will be awesome. Can't wait. Can't wait. Should be a good time. Can't wait to detect those fields and just, technically can't wait to get out of state and detect and treasure hunt everywhere else.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And only
I'm so excited.
4 more sleeps and you'll be here. So I'm excited by that too. So
Woohoo! Man,
yes,
can't wait.
I know.
All
All right. Well,
right, y'all.
for those two, I think is it Relic? Is it Relic Roundup? I just might have screwed it up. The show after us with Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
That show tonight looks like it's going to be excellent. So definitely
Relic Radio. Radio. Or I'm blank right now too.
horrible.
Sorry.
I know we're horrible. Horrible. But their show actually looks like it's going to be a great show tonight. I think it is Relic Roundup, and they're also, I believe, on Spreaker. So definitely, if you haven't listened before and you like the treasure hunting, I know that they're going to be talking about railroad baggage tags and everything like that. So should be a fun, it should be a good episode to definitely go catch up on. So. So those that are listening that might not be in chat, there's other treasure hunting shows out there that are awesome. So definitely go give them a listen. And yep, actually, I was right. Relics Roundup. So
Relics
boop
Roundup.
boop.
Okay. Woohoo!
I know.
Well, you all have a wonderful night. We thank you all for listening, and we look forward to seeing some of you at Dig Stock.
Yep. Good night, all.
Good night. Good night, all.